All right, so big shouts out to my man Eddie Butler, who introduced to me what he likes to call the Jonah Syndrome, where he says not everybody belongs on your ship, right? So it was funny because when he explained it to me, I kind of almost immediately got it because I know the story. But I don't know why, but something said to me, go back and read the story. And I promise you, I went to the book of Jonah and read the first 10 verses. And I mean, it like for real blew me back, right? So you'll see how this relates to marriage in a second. But what ends up happening is God tells Jonah to go down to Nineveh because he has a message that he wants to go and send the people of Nineveh. This dude Jonah, man, with his dumb tail, says no, he ain't going. And so he goes down to Tarshish, hops on this, pays a fare, hops on this ship. And long story short, the ship goes out to sea. So now when the ship goes out to sea, and they get out to sea, storm clouds start forming, and then a storm pops up out of nowhere, right? And so the winds are blowing, the waves are tossing the ship back and forth like luggage. And I mean, it really gets bad out there, right? So, of course, the ship's crew, they start panicking and they're like, okay, everybody pray to your God and, hopefully he'll be able to save us. So they forget, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, they remember Jonah's down in the bottom of the ship. So they go down to the bottom of the ship. And when they find this joker, he's down there fast asleep, right? So the dude says to him, like, yo, why are you fast asleep? Don't you, feel the storm? And he is like so not concerned as long as he ain't got to go to Nineveh. And so he wakes him up and tells him, yo, start praying to your God. One thing leads to another. And so they start questioning Jonah, like, who are you? Where are you from? And why are you on this ship? And I find it interesting because now that the storm is hitting them and all this foolishness is taking place, now you want to ask him questions. And ain't that how life works sometimes? We wait until calamity happens to start asking the important questions. And my thought is they should have been asking him those questions before he paid the fare and got on the ship. But that's another story for another time. So Jonah starts spilling the beans. He finally starts confessing, I'm a servant of the Most High God. He sent me down to Nineveh to go and talk to these people, but I decided not to. And they're like, yo, what kind of predicament, do you have us in? Like, what did you do? So long story short, Jonah tells them to throw him overboard. But before they do that, they start turning the ship and start trying to make it back to shore, right? And I find even that interesting because ain't it crazy sometimes that how there are some things in our lives that we know that we need to let go of, but we hold on to that and still trying to make it to our destination while holding on to the things that we're not supposed to be holding on to. So as they make this turn and try to make it back to shore, the storm gets worse. The wind gets even more violent. And like I said, the waves are just out of control now. And so they finally decide to throw Jonah overboard. They throw Jonah overboard. You know the story. The whale comes, swallows him up, and then throws him back up on sea 3 days later after sitting in the whale's belly. But here's the most important part. Almost instantaneously after they throw Jonah overboard, there's almost like immediate calm. The sea becomes calm again. The storm clouds go away. Instantaneously, there's peace. Now, as it relates to marriage, there are some of you who are holding on to people and situations that as you are traveling in your ship of marriage to the destination of intimacy, to the destination of one accord, to the destination of communication, to the destination of harmony. You're going to this destination and you're still holding on to people and situations who are making the trip for you a bumpy one, right? Let me go as far as to say some of you in your own marriage are Jonah. Yeah, some of you in your marriage, you Jonah. And so you trying to get to your destination and there's some things that are a part of you that you just need to grab hold of and throw those things overboard. You feel me? Like integrity, right? Insecurities, selfishness, right? You egotistical, right? You got a lot of pride. Those are parts of you that you just need to grab hold of those things and go on just like they did Jonah and throw them things overboard. Why? Because they cannot be on your ship, especially going to the place that you are going in your marriage. They just can't be with you on your ship. And as long as they remain with you on your ship, they're going to make your ride good and bumpy and toss your marriage to and fro like luggage. Like for real. There's some of you, and you're trying to hold on to it. It's not going to work. What I encourage you or I implore you to do while you're in this marriage, those things that are a part of you, the issues of your integrity issues, your insecurities, your pride, your ego, which is an acronym for edging God out, another story for another time. But your selfishness, go ahead, grab hold of those things and throw them overboard. And I promise you, when you do that, the journey to the destinations that you're trying to go to will be a whole lot smoother than what they would be if you continue to hold on to them. Yeah. Let them go.